Another console launched in 2001, 3 days after. I didn't say that was the last thing. November 15th, 2001 for the Xbox. November 18th, 3 days later, Nintendo drops the GameCube on us.
Yeah, I did eventually get an Xbox. I had all 3 of those consoles, but the Xbox came later. But I did do the whole midnight launch. I think the GameCube was the very first console that I ever went to a midnight launch for. We were so hyped. We were all big Nintendo fans. Let's go get the GameCube. And then it wasn't until we got there that we're like, oh, what video game are we gonna get with this?
Oh, Vacuum Luigi.
Yeah, and we didn't get Luigi's Mansion. We sort of picked up Super Monkey Ball just off the shelf, just kind of, well, you got to get something. And then
strong call.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know at the time, and then it turned out to be a strong call. In hindsight, that game is incredible, but we thought it was just going to be this goofy, weird game, and then stayed up, obviously all night playing it.
What color did you get? Available in 2 colors at launch.
We got purple.
Yep.
Purple.
So did I.
I was black.
Yeah.
Stuck with traditional.
Okay,
We'll
all right.
keep it.
I had a purple N64 too, though, so I was sort of.
Was it one of those weird, like see-through, like partly
Translucent?
see-through? Translucent. That's the word.
No.
Got a writer over here.
It was normal, yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about like the Xbox Halo really making or breaking that launch. I think for GameCube, the lack of a strong lineup really sort of defined that system.
Didn't set a great tone, but it still went on to have some incredible games on it.
Yeah.
Let's run through. Well, first I'll give you the launch lineup, and then we can talk through.
I think the launch lineup's better than. Nothing's as good as Halo, but I think it's better than the Xbox launch.
Yeah,
overall.
I actually really like Luigi's Mansion still.
I really enjoyed Luigi's
Yeah.
Mansion too. And then the other standout was Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader,
That game was
which
gorgeous.
did the best at the top up to then the best Hoth level, where you'd have your tow cable,
Yeah.
you'd circle around the
That's great.
AT-ATs.
That was before Hoth levels jumped the shark. Jumped
Also-
to Tauntaun. Jumped to Tauntaun.
Well played.
I'm fired.
And the space battles and that. The space missions were really. I remember that game being very difficult as well, but I do
Yeah.
remember
Very,
getting
very
through
hard.
it.
I mean, the GameCube itself is sort of an odd duck. I mean, it sort of started, it didn't start at all. It continued Nintendo's tradition of, sort of marching to their own beat.
Oh, yeah.
The N64 was doing its own thing. The GameCube controller felt a little bit strange till you got used to it. The little tiny discs that it came on to handle on the
Anti-piracy
console.
measure. They went with the proprietary mini discs that held 1.5 gigs, whereas a DVD could hold, I think, 4.7 if memory serves correctly.
I mean, I'm a gigantic fan of the GameCube. Some of my favorite gaming memories are on that platform. Smash famously wasn't a launch title, but came, I think just 1 month later.
Less. The November 18th for the system, December 3rd for Smash.
So
it just
strange.
missed it
It's
by
so
a couple
weird.
weeks.
Yeah.
It probably had a last-minute bug or something
Sure,
that
yeah.
Nintendo, they were super high-quality control back then. Still are.
I like that console a lot. I have sort of a very fond place for it in my heart. But there's no denying that decision to do the proprietary media and just sort of do its own thing. I don't know. It harmed the GameCube for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, the N64 started them down the road of having difficulty getting third-party support, and the GameCube did, unfortunately, nothing to really.
But then the
really
flip side
reel
is
that
they take a
in.
chance with the Wii, and it becomes the biggest thing on planet Earth. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really
Yes.
is the transition console for Nintendo, where it went from really being like a strong competitor for the hardcore gamers with the N64, and then suddenly the Wii opened it up to a whole new audience, which
Yeah.
obviously there are a lot of other people who are not
Yes.
hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But that box, by the way, though, was amazing. It was this beautiful little cube, just very compact, especially compared to what we were talking about a minute ago, the giant Xbox.
Yeah.
Even the PS2 was, decent size.
size.
But that GameCube, just a nice,
handle.
quiet, had a handle.
Yeah.
It was just a phenomenal little piece of hardware, which, of course, Nintendo's always done hardware well.
I like the industrial design of the GameCube a lot.
I like its little opening
Wavebird.
splash screen. Oh, the Wavebird! Oh my god.
so
Yeah, that was
good.
the first wireless controller.
First party wireless controller.
Yeah. I like the little splash thing. The boop, 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 boop.
Yeah,
I did that accurately.
We're gonna do a feature. I've been
rendition.
talking about it for like a year, but someday we're gonna do a feature on the best opening game consoles.
That's an evergreen feature.
time.
Console
Yeah,
boot ups.
that is an evergreen feature.
The original Xbox one's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of them are really good. GameCube's up there.
So 600 games total over the course of the GameCube's
Jeez.
lifetime. But as we started to touch on earlier, the first party stuff is what we remember the GameCube by. You mentioned Smash, we mentioned Luigi's Mansion, which was sort of a bit of a redheaded stepchild at the time. It's like, well, where's the Mario game? But we got that eventually with Super Mario Sunshine, which itself was weird.
Yeah.
It is
I
super
loved
weird.
Sunshine.
I did too.
In retrospect, I like it so much more than I did at the time.
Yep.
Because I think at the time I was just like, I just want Mario 64 too.
Right.
I'm like, why do I have a dumb? Why was everyone in that system have a weird backpack that did things? You had Vacuum Man, you got Water Man.
Well, because then you could put the GameCube that had a handle in your backpack, and then that's a whole other level
Yeah.
that did not pay off.
Yeah.
Show's over. We're out of here. I need to go think about life right
Bleeding out
now.
of my ear.
But yeah, I mean, to me, I love Super Mario Sunshine because it kind of had that summery island,
for sure.
just pleasant vibe to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It wasn't this dark, gritty thing that
Yeah.
so many games at the time were. But
And Mario's on a vacation, he's on the beach, and the game still got plenty challenging. It's not like it was a little baby game, but just the mood of it was very sort of uplifting and fun. For
I
sure.
liked the gameplay mechanics too. It was a nice switch up from what we were used to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving from the Super Mario 64, which when you go back to it, the camera still drives me crazy on that
Yeah.
game. I found it
Early
a lot
3D.
more,
Yeah.
a lot easier to control and play through Sunshine.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime
Oh, yeah?
was in there. You had Zelda Wind Waker. You had Eternal Darkness, which second party, but still, it's an exclusive
Yeah.
game. And I forgot to give you the launch lineup because here we can compare and contrast. All-Star Baseball 2002, that was a claim,
Oh my
folks.
God, I forgot All-Star Baseball.
Batman Vengeance didn't turn out well. Crazy Taxi, of course, a port of the arcade game, still it's nice and solid there. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2. Disney's Tarzan Untamed. I
Oh.
defy you to have remembered that. I sure as heck didn't.
Oh yes, that Tarzan tie-in game, of course.
We said Luigi's Mansion, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. There's Madden again, Madden NFL 2002, NHL Hits 2002 once again, Super Monkey Ball, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and Wave Race Blue Storm.
Oh, that's
I
weird.
like that. So it's just then interesting. So the Xbox and the GameCube came out 2 days apart, and the Xbox got 2X, and the GameCube got 3.
Yeah.
Just one of those interesting
Yeah.
console things that's been sort of lost to the mists of time. But if you were to go back, I'm sure there are lots of message board fights about that particular. If you're a Tony Hawk fan, which console do you got to go? Well, you got the PS2. Then you're all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess true.
22 million units is what the GameCube ended up selling, so slightly behind the Xbox.
in the end, yeah.
And just well off of the N64's pace, and certainly well off of the PS2's
Yeah.
pace.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still just a weird system, but one I'm so happy that I owned.
Yeah.
I was so
it
glad
also
to
had
have
that
it.
weird, which I guess we could talk about when we get to the GBA, but that weird connectivity with the GBA, where like they dabble in it for a little bit. with
Final Fantasy
the, Crystal Chronicles and the Pac-Man game.
Yeah.
And
Well, if you
Zelda
look back
Four
at it,
Swords.
that was like not that far away from what the Wii U ended up doing
Oh,
with
totally.
the
Yeah.
gamepad, and that
Yeah.
is such a big time jump between
Yeah.
those two.
Zelda Four Swords, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing used it in a really cool way.
Oh my God, Animal Crossing, when you could go to the island and
Yeah,
you could
and
get
a
like
little turtle.
sweet money from that.
Sweet money.
Oh my God, I got so many bags for my fruit.